When then was the state concerning the pasuk where it says that your name shall not be Yaakov anymore, but your name shall be Yisrael. Zog the Gemara says like this. There was ruft Avram, and Avram is ever of them tzuzak with the Yikore Shim Avram. Who calls Avraham with the name Avram is ever an Avera. Because the Torah says, V'lo Yikore Shim Avram, your name shall not be called Avram. It's a lav, it's a leisase, you're not allowed to do it. Then that mitrufen, Pasuk says, men vet mitrufen dein Namen Avram, they will not call your name Avram. Frag the Gemara, so the Gemara asks, Ey Bazei, if so, is there was ruft Yaakov and mit Namen Yaakov, nicht Yisrael? So loich ever sein of them Suzak from the Yikore Eichim Yaakov. But the one that calls Yaakov, not Yisrael, should also do an Aveda, because the Pasuk says the same thing. Your name shall not be Yaakov. Since it says it shall not be, it's an Aveda. How come it's not like that? And for the Gemara, so the Gemara answers, as in the Nomen Yaakov is anders when the Nomen Avram. Concerning the name Yaakov is different than the name Avram. Why? Weil as Hashem is Borech, hat gegeben Avramen, the Nomen Avram, because when Hashem gave Avram, the name Avram, is von dann on, wird in der Torah angerufen nur mit dem Nomen Avram. From then on, the Torah never refers to him with the name Avram. Always calls him Avram. Anders is aber mit dem Namen Yaakov. Different is concerning the name Yaakov. As noch dem wie Hashem Yisborach hat gegeben Yaakov dem Namen Yisrael. And even after Hashem gave him the name Yisrael, wird in der Torah angerufen mit dem Namen Yaakov. So in the Torah is called Yaakov. So therefore, it's not really an Easter, because if it be an Easter, the Torah wouldn't call him by the name. That means that it's not really an Easter. Fine.
Would it be okay for somebody to name somebody Avram?
Avram?
Yeah, today.
Yeah, you could. It's just you can't call him. Right. That's that from Vashtein. We have to understand. Verwostake noch dem wird schon angerufen mit Namen Yisrael, wird später gerufen nicht mit Namen Yaakov. Why tak is it like that? Okay, the Torah does do that, so we see that his name Yaakov didn't disappear. But why is it tak that after he was changed to the name Yisrael, the Torah still continues calling him Yaakov, and b'meila we're allowed to call him Yaakov? Why? So he says in Chassidus is mevuyer. It says in Chassidus, "Ad die zwei Namen Yaakov and Yisrael beweisen, bezeichnen zwei Madreges in Avodas Hashem." The two names Yaakov and Yisrael, they represent two types of serving Hashem, two types of ways, two levels in serving Hashem. Was beide müssen sein bei jeder Yidin. Both of these levels have to be by every Jew. As I'm voranzeiten, when a Yid afton die Aveda von Yaakov. There's a time when the Yid has to do the Aveda of Yaakov, and as Zeiten when darf tun die Aveda von Yisrael. And sometimes you have to do the Aveda of Yisrael. Chot Yisrael Hashem Amayle was batzeichen behechane madrege. Even though Yisrael is a higher name, represents a higher level, muss aber sein die Aveda von Yaakov. So the Aveda of Yaakov has to be. So basically, this is the answer. By Avram, whatever Avram represents, doesn't exist anymore. Therefore, his name is Avram. Finished. But Yaakov and Yisrael, even now, after his name was changed to Yisrael, the concept of what Yaakov represents still exists. Oh, the Mela, now we have both names, so you're allowed to still stick to the name Yaakov. Now we have to know, what are these two Avedas, what are these two things that are represented by these two names? So he says like this, the difference between these two levels, Yaakov and Yisrael, is as follows. Yaakov weist, als die Broches von Yitzchok seinen zu ihm gekommen, beikvo, akova, uberemia. The word Yaakov comes from the word Akev, akova. Akova means crookedness, because it shows that the brochas that he took from Yitzchok came through cheating. He tricked his father and he got the brochas. It shows that he outsmarted Esav and he got the brochas out in a roundabout way. Yisrael weist auf a hechere Madrege. Yisrael is a higher Madrege. Wo die brochas kommen nicht zu ihm in Anleifen for Amos. That shows that the brochas he got is not through a form of cheating, nor bishroro vegilui ponim. Soror means in a right way, in a good, in a leading way, and the gilui ponim in a revealed way. And that's hinted in the name. Yaakov comes from the word akova. Akova means cheating. And Yisrael comes from the word sar. So Yaakov represents the fact that he got it through cheating Esav, so to speak. And Yisrael represents that he got the brachas in a fine way. That's been the gay Yaakov and Yisrael, Yaakov himself, what the two names represent. But Maisa Ovis similar bonim. We know that whatever happened to the Ovis is a sign for the children for us. So he says like this: For sure, the pshat in the pasuk, however we're going to explain it, doesn't go away from the simple pshat that they were poshet brachas for physical things, mitala shamayim and mishma neoras, from the dew of the heaven and from the fats of the land. In order to get these brachas, had Rivka and Yaakov meise nefesh given. So Rivka and Yaakov had to go on mesiras nefesh. They did all kinds of cheating things in order to get these brachas. Yaakov had to get Yaakov had to get dressed up, disguise himself. He had to put on the clothes of Nimrod. Rashi says that he dressed in the clothes of Nimrod. And Nimrod is Himrid. Why is he called Nimrod? Shehimrid es kol ha'olam kulei olav b'malchus. He rebelled the whole world against Hashem through his malchus. So the word Nimrod represents Merida, rebellion against Hashem. Now imagine, Yaakov had to put himself on the clothes of Nimrod, which represents a Merida, a rebellion against Hashem.
No, they were really the clothes of Adam Rishon.
Yeah, but when he got it, it was the clothes of Nimrod. Why did he do it? Because they had to get out the spirit, the holy sparks that are there in all physical things. We know it says in Kabbalah that in every physical thing there's a holy spark, but it's hidden, it's in jail, and you have to get it out. So in order to be able to get out these sparks that are there in all the Gashmisike things, he had to do it through a roundabout way, through a cheating way. That was what happened then. And for us, it teaches us like this: the approach of a yid to eating and drinking and other physical things is an eifem fun ramoes. You have to cheat. In order, our approach to all physical things has to be in a form of cheating. Cheating from who? So he explains. What is a ramai? A ramai is a, how would you say in English, the literal translation, a ramai? A cheater, a con artist, yeah. A deceiver, that's not the right word. The derech von a ramai is, the way of a deceiver is, not to reveal what your real intentions are. It's like a spy. You go superficially, you're going the way the guy wants. But when it comes to the nekuda von the comes to the point, to the end, so this deceiver does what he wants. He's going, making you think you're going in your way, and then at the end he does what he wants. But das is verkehrt von dem Rotzen Amanagid. That's against the will that the other guy wants. He thinks you're going to do his will, and then when it comes to the end, you do what you want. That's how a Yid has to approach physical things. Superficially, you're involved in Gashmias, you're involved in physical things. Erest und trinkt, handelt, you eat and you drink, you're doing business, everything just like everybody else. Really, your intentions are for the sake of Hashem. When there is nicht in the Gashmias, you're not interested in the Gashmias. You're interested in serving Hashem. Sich mislabish in the big days of you get dressed, you disguise yourself in the clothes of Esav, like Yaakov did. They disguised themselves in the clothes of Esav. You do it all with an inner intention. Superficially, so if somebody sees, the Yitzhahara sees you, oh, you ready to eat? Sure, I'm going to eat. You do everything that the Gashmis seems to be saying to do, and you have a different intentions. The reason you're doing it is to get out from the Gashmis, the sparks, to elevate them, to bring them up to Kedusha. That's your intentions. So superficially you do what others do. But if you look at the Yid and the Goy superficially, I mean, not always do you see the same, but sometimes, Eidel Goy sits and eats normal, and the Yid Lahavdil eats normal. He's eating because he wants to elevate the Netzutzis. He wants to do it to serve Hashem. Now, how do you elevate the Netzutzis? When you eat L'Shem Shemayim, which means you're eating in order to be healthy, why do you want to be healthy? So you should be able to serve Hashem. The famous story with the Rebbe Marash. He heard his two children, the Razo and the Rebbe Rashab were talking, and he overheard them talking about what did they eat in Nagoy. So when he heard it, he called him in and he said, I want to show you. And he said, go bring me the Benzion, the Kutcher, the simple guy, the driver, the wagon driver. So he called him in and he comes in and he says to him, did you eat today? He said, yeah, Baruch Hashem. Do you enough? Baruch Hashem, Zat. I'm full, I'm enough, I have enough. Why did you eat? I should be healthy, I should live. Says, why do you want to be healthy to live? So I should be able to say Akipitul Tilim, I should be able to serve Hashem. And he gave a sigh. Then he says, go bring the Goyish worker. Brother, ask him the same question. Did you eat today? Yeah, you ate enough? Plenty. He says, why did you eat? Should be strong and healthy. Why do you want to be healthy? I should be able to take a good piece of mashke, and drink some whiskey and have a good time. So he says, here you see the difference. So a yid, superficially, is the same, but it's not. So that's like cheating, you're tricking, you're deceiving the Yetzer Hara. Anders, that's what Yaakov represents. We said Yaakov, the word Yaakov represents getting the brachas for Gashmias, by cheating, by deceiving. So it means to us that we also have to get involved in Gashmias by deceiving. What does Yisrael represent? We said that you got the brachas from Yitzchak in a straight way, in the right way. That's what represented by Yisrael. But Yisrael is different. The brachas metal Hashemayim mishmani orezayin stim gekumen b'sroya v'gilaponim. That represents that the brachas that you got to have the dew from the heaven and the fats of the land, it came to you in a straight way. That represents a way a yid is able to deal with Gashmias, but you don't have to hide your intentions, your godly intentions in the Dvarim Gashmi that's there. You could be at a level where the Gashmias doesn't fight with you. It doesn't cover up on the godliness that's there. So normally, Gashmias fights with you. A yid has to serve Hashem. When you do Gashmias, it's not serving Hashem. So here you got to have your intentions. Because normally it's why are you eating? Because your body needs to eat, that's all. It's not because of any ruchna spiritual things. So it's nothing holy there. But, good, so you have to do it because the Eibishter says v'chai behem, because the Eibishter wants you to live. That's what you have to have in mind. But superficially, Goy doesn't live because it says v'chai behem. He lives because in Gashmis. So that's a regular way that you have to do it in a way that it really fights you. Gashmis is not spirituality. It's not your Avedis Hashem. But you have to fight it and bring Avedis Hashem. And you have to behave like a spy. But there is a case of using Gashmis that you don't have to fight. Gashmis is not fighting Lomoshal, he says. Al derech v'ayid es de Suda Shabbos. Shabbos when you eat the Suda. Was der mit allein is a makayim mitzvah. You're eating Gashmis, but you're doing a mitzvah. It's not like during the week when you eat is in order to elevate the sparks. Is not l'shem shamayim. You're eating physical things, and it's a physical thing. But your intentions are for the sake of shamayim. In the deceiving way, you're doing it with the intentions of elevating kedusha. But Shabbos, it's not like that. Nor in the Gashmis Alein is the kedusha begili. Shabbos, it's a mitzvah, just like the mitzvah to put on film. It's a spiritual act. Eating food on Shabbos is a spiritual act. It's a mitzvah to eat. So that, eating matzah, it's food, and you might be hungry, but you eat the matzah, now you're full. But it's not a physical, it is a physical act, but it's not fighting you. It's the chatchila doing a mitzvah, the same thing here.
That's because Shabbos gives that to you.
Yeah, yes.
Saying yid eating,
so we're talking this eating, yeah, same meat there. So that's what he said. Every yid has, sometimes you have to be Yaakov, sometimes Yisrael. During the week you are Yaakov. He'll say that. And during Shabbos you're the level of Yisrael. And he's going to explain even more details we'll see.
So if on Shabbos, if you're eating, and you're eating just for the purpose of having strength to serve Hashem, you're doing the right voda.
Right, because you should be beyond that. But if you're not beyond it, really on Shabbos you should not be like Shabbos. You should not do it. That's why it says Beirer Osa. Shabbos you're not allowed to pick. So Chassidus says what it means. Birer HaNetzutzes. During the week your eating is to pick out the Netzutzes HaKdusha, the holy, because it's fighting you and you have to work to pick it out. Shabbos, it's not. Shabbos is a chatchila mitzvah. Shabbos is a holy thing. We have an esrig. Esrig is a fruit. During Sukkot, it's not a fruit. It's a mitzvah. There's a Yisr Beirer.
This is the reason for
No, that's the Ruchnisdike reason. Yeah, the Ruchnisdike reason. That's what it is.
So is the Beirer happening automatically, or they don't need any Beirer? I mean, if everything is...
It's holy, yeah.
The sparks
so the sparks go up, but not because you're doing it. It automatic happens. This is by Kriya Hashem Yisrael. This is why when he called him Yisrael, he said, that you overcame Elikim and people, you overcame Hashem, godliness, we'll see what it means, and people, and you were victorious. Now, the simple pshat in Posuk is, he meant you overcame the Malach of Esav. The Sar Shel Esav was fighting with him, and you overcame, and that's when he called him Yisrael. But Chassidus touches like, Elikim do gemeint do Malachim, when it says here, you overcame Elikim, it means Malachim. Meint doesn't mean just Malachim. Das meint Bechlol is dem Helle von the Ayin Sorim Shalamayla. Malachim are good, right? But not always. There are Malachim which are the heads of all the countries in the world. They are the ones that bring the physical hashpah into the world. Because every country has a Malach Lamaila. There are 70 nations according to Halacha. So there are 70 Sorim, 70 Malachim. And these are Malachim, was durch sie geht durch die hashpah von den Dvorim Gashmim V'chumrim. Through them goes all the things that Hashem gives to the world. All the Gashmizdike and lower things come into the country through these Malachim, these Sorim. And they cover up on godliness that's there. Everything comes from Hashem. There's nothing, all this comes from Hashem. But the way it's down here, it covers up on Hashem. We don't see Hashem here. Since this came from the Malachim, from these Sorim, they are the ones that their job is to block out the godliness, so it should be able to come down to this world to be physical. So, from the Helm from the Elikim, is the Gresser Helm from Anoshim. Now that there is this concealment of godliness that comes from the Malachim, there's another concealment, a worse concealment that comes later, a concealment from Anoshim, from people, meaning, was niedrige Menschen lachen up von Nieden, was im Mekayim Teire Mitzvahs. The fact that there are people that make fun of somebody who does Teire Mitzvahs. That's even a worse concealment. This itself is enough. That it doesn't show any godliness, so it's a concealment. Imagine if there's worse people go against Hashem. We see out clearly, we see simply that the concealment that people do when they fight godliness is harder to take than the concealment from the fact that this is Gashmis and you don't see godliness. From the Gashmis alone, from the Gashmis itself. We see that. But the father is the erste Sif and alle vier Temel Shulchan Aruch. That's what the first line of the beginning of Shulchan Aruch is what? Don't get embarrassed from people who laugh at you. Nicht schämen sich für die Oplacher, not be embarrassed from the people who laugh. Weil das ist der Yesod. Why is that the first thing in Shulchan Aruch? The first thing, because that's the foundation for the ganze Aveda, from the whole Aveda, to brechen dem Helm von der Lakus, to break the helm, the concealment of the Lakus. So the worst concealment is the people that laugh, and the truth is, it's very hard for a person to take. A normal person, when people embarrass you, it's very hard. That's really, really hard to fight. So that's why the beginning of Shulchan Aruch says, that's what you got to do, you got to fight it. So when it says the word Yisrael means you overcame Elikim, and you overcame the Anoshim. Now we said Elikim is the Malachim that block out the godliness that you should not see it in the Gashmias. Anoshim, the people, is even a further level of covering up on the godliness. So what does Yisrael mean? You overcame that. The Maila from Yisrael, Kisaristim Alakim Anoshim meant, the greatest, what's so special about the name Yisrael, which means that you overcame the Elikim and Anoshim, means, as it is Asar, Malabos, Ibadam Helam from the Elikim and Anoshim. Sarisa means you are Asar. Asar is an officer. You're the boss. You're the boss over these concealment that come from Elikim and Anoshim. Das heißt, that means like this. As far the Madrege from Yisrael, sein sie gar nicht master. When you, the level of Yisrael, you're the boss over it. They don't exist. There is no concealment. You're at a level when there's no concealment. Niet nor they hadn't moved in Mulchama Mitim. Not only they stop fighting with you. That's what it means. The Nochmed. It goes further. Geben ihm noch dem Heskim of the Broches. They even agree with the Broches. That means, just like over here, the Sar of Esav fought with him. But what happened at the end when he named him Yisrael? He says, now I agree. I'm asking, I agree to the Broches. Not only did he win over the Malach of Esav, no, the Saratim gebenched. That Malach benched him. That means, it says a posik that the time will come that the enemies will make up with you. Because I feel that the Gres today, if it says in Yerushalmi, when it says your enemy will, Evav Yashlimim will make peace with you, who's the real enemy of a Yid? The worst enemy. The Nochash HaKadmeni, that first snake. He's the source of all sins and all enemies. His need blaze not only will he not fight you, nor Yashlimite, helped him, will help you. That means that you have no more Helam Vasta. The Klipper, the Yetzirah doesn't fight with you. So here we have two levels. You have a level when the Gashmias fights with you, as usually it's Gashmias, so it's not godliness. And you got to fight with it, and you got to overcome it. You got to have a mind of Kedusha, you have to have L'Shem Shemayim. That's the level of Yaakov. It's also a very high level in Avodas Hashem. And then you have the other level, which is Yisrael, which To begin with, it doesn't fight with you because you're in such a high level that there's no concealment, and the Gashmis doesn't fight. Like he says, for example, the Achil of Shabbos. Das is was redt sich in Lekut Torah, the Chilik zwischen Yaakov and Yisrael. This is what it says in Lekut Torah. The difference between Yaakov and Yisrael, Meyusef and Posik, based on the Posik, it says in the Nevuah of Bilam in Parshas Bolak, it says, he said, Leihibit oven by Yaakov. Hashem doesn't see any oven by Yaakov. Oven means avei, not with an ayin, but it still means bad things, crookedness in Yaakov. V'leiro omal by Yisrael, and he doesn't see any hard work, any omal hardships by Yisrael. So in Lekut Torah, based on this passage, we see here like this. He uses the name Yaakov, uses the name Yisrael. But by Yaakov, he says, what doesn't he see? In other words, what's the possibility? And we say he doesn't see. The possibility is to have oven. Oven means crookedness. By Yisrael, what is the possibility? Not crooked. Omol. Why? So he says like this. As in the Madrege from Yaakov is not talking oven. What we're saying, it doesn't have an Aveira. Which means, when he's in his thought, speech, and action, he's good. That's what it means. Omol means hard work he does have. What mean he has? Of them, he must work hard, as there's only Tobin can oven. In other words, the fact that he doesn't, Rebbe says, well, you reach a point that you don't have any oven, you don't have any crookedness. How do you get to it? How is it you have to work hard for it? Because in the level of Yaakov, you still got to work on it. And there are concealments which he has to overcome. So that's why he says, what doesn't he see? Oven. He doesn't say he doesn't see Omol. Omol he sees. By Yaakov there is Omol, there is hard work. But the far Rufmanim Yaakov Avdi. Yaakov, it says always, when the name Yaakov goes together with being Eved of Hashem, and the name Yisrael goes together with being the Ben of Hashem. We know that Yidden are called Avodim and called Bonim. We say it in Rosh Yom Kippur, Im ke Bonim, Im ke Avodim. So he says, by Yaakov the Lashon is Avdi. Altiro Yaakov Avdi. Yaakov Avdi. By Yisrael it says, B'ni B'chayre Yisrael. What's the difference? Why is he called Avdi? Avdi means you got to work. Eved is working. Because Yaakov, as much as he's good, because he doesn't care about all these concealments, but they got to fight it. So therefore, it's for Lashon Aveda B'Yegiyah. He has to work hard to elevate and to purify your Yetzer Hara, Nefesh HaBahamis. Nit mer, was kein Oven hat nicht. But he doesn't have an oven, he doesn't have Averes. Because you overcome, you fight, and you win the Yetzer Hara. So the Pasuk says he doesn't see anything wrong by Yaakov. Aber of the Madrege from Yisrael steht Yisrael. By Yisrael, he doesn't even see any omal, any hard labor. As a dav gonit hara when the milchama halt mit Yetzer Hara. You don't have to work hard, you don't fight the Yetzer Hara. Because you overcame, you became the boss over all these concealments. You already overcame, and you're the boss over all these concealments. The far is the Aveda from Yisrael, nit na neifen from milchama mit lumazet. That's why you're not fighting with the other side, with evil forces. You overcame, you finished with them. And now everything is fine. Now you got to work just to go higher and higher. One level over the other in the Madreges from Kedusha Gufa. In holiness itself, to go from strength to strength. So sometimes the Chassidus says that the difference is Yaakov is the level of Iskafya, and Yisrael is the level of Ishapche. Iskafya means when you're bending the Klippa, you're bending the Yetzer Hara. You're bending, you're fighting, you're bending. And his hapchim means you change him over, transformed. Like it says, Haftas Hashem alakecha machol levovcho, love Hashem with all your heart. It says with two basin, and the Gemara says two basin means b'shnei yitzarecha, both hearts. That you love Hashem with the Yetzer Hara. The first level doesn't do that. The Yetzer Hara tries to stop you from loving Hashem, so you push him away. You don't care and you still love Hashem. But the Yetzer Hara doesn't love Hashem. But the other way is that you transformed, and now there is no, the Yetzer Hara itself changed. Then the Rebbe continues. The Friedrich Rebbe, what erzählt, told, as der Rebbe, der Tzemach Tzedek, ist einmal in Mitten von der Verbringen, aufgesprungen mit Gracie Rakshas auf den Tisch. Once the Tzemach Tzedek, in the middle of the Verbringen, got very excited, and jumped on the table and gesagt, and he said, Mali kotla kula, geharge dem Yetzer Hara, in ganzen Mali kotla palga nor a halb. The Gemara says this, like, if you hurt a person, so even though you didn't kill him, so it's called killing him half. And the Gemara is a lashon malikot. What's the difference if you kill him completely or you killed him half? So he referred to the Yetzer Hara, and he said that means that if you do half, you did a lot.
It's kosher.
Aber kotla palge al kaponim darv zayin, but the half you got to kill. In other words, it says if you killed him half, it's already just like you almost killed him the whole thing. But you got to kill him half. That's what.
Chicken, no, actually just cut one.
No, does not do that. Noch am Meshach's man von verbringen, then when the Tzemach Tzedek continued verbringen, Rikudim when he was dancing, hat Mamshech when he continued. As b'shas mekum zum Horgo, when hargich in the Yitzhahore, he says when you do kill the Yitzhahore, v'libi cholol b'kirbi, and your heart has the Yitzhahore dead inside, vet anayer eifim von Leben. Now you got a new style in life. If you kill, at first he said you got to kill him half, but then he said, but when you kill him completely, then it's a high madriga. So what are these? So we have two things here that Tzemach Tzedek said. The first part and the second part. So he says, or die zwei Pis Gome for Tzemach Tzedek, these two statements of the Tzemach Tzedek erklären die zwei eben der Monter Darges von Yankev and Yisrael. They explain the two levels we said before, the difference in Yankev and Yisrael. In the Darge von Yankev, when you're still in the level of Yaakov, was darf sein, noch sein Mohammed mit Yitzhahore, called the Kotel Palga, you got to kill him, you kill at least half. He says, gematerter Leben. It's a hard work, hard life. If you got to fight the Yitzhahara, it's a very hard life. The person who has to fight the Yitzhahara is a hard life. That's like the Beinani, who has to, Tanya, has to fight always with the Yitzhahara. And that's not easy, constantly at war. But in the Darge von Yisrael, where hat schon den ganzen gehargert am Yitzhahara, but when the level of Yisrael, you killed him completely. Kotla Kula, you killed him completely. But Tanayar Eifron Lem, it's a new kind, which is Chayim Ne'imim or Chayatayim. Now you have pleasure, now you have no hardships. And you don't, live a hard life. You're living a life of pleasure, spiritual pleasure, but now you live a life of pleasure. So here, these are the two madregas that the Tzemach Tzedek said. The zwei madregas in the Meifon Avedem Yankev Yisrael, he says like this. These two levels that we said, that there's a level of Yaakov that you still fight with the Yitzhahara and you got to fight him and win, but you got to fight, and the other one you don't. Seine Abhängig in the zwei Darges von Nefesh Elikis. They depend on the two levels of a Yidz Neshama, of the Nefesh Elikis. Yaakov is Yud Ekev. Yaakov, before we said Yaakov, the word Akov, and now he says Yaakov is Yud Ekev. What's Ekev? Ekev is the heel. Yud Ekev means, es like by im blaze der Ekev, the niedrige Madrege von der Neshama. That, which level of the Neshama shines by the person? The lower level. The far is meglich, as ein Guf and Nefesh Bam is all meinam sein of the area Neshama. Because you don't feel the full Neshama, you only feel a little bit of the Neshama, low level, so the body and the Yitzhahara and the Nefesh Abamis are teifas mokim, make up, there's something, because the Neshama is not shining completely. You have to fight with them. So that's hinted in the word Ekev. Ekev means the heel, the lowest part of your Neshama shines. Aber Yisrael is the opposite. Yisrael is the word Lireish. The letters Yisrael make up the word, my head is to me. As is Bayim, Meir Dereish for the Neshama. The head of the Neshama shines, means if the higher level of the neshama shines in the person, you don't need wars. Now you overcame them and now you're finished. You don't have to fight because the high level of the neshama shines. So Yud Ekev is the lower level of the neshama and Israel is the higher level of the neshama. Bichlal is Israel madrege von tzadikim and Yaakov the madreges habeinanim. Midas kolodo. See, we learn in Tanya the difference of Beinani and Tzadik. A Beinani is a person who never does an Aveira. If he does an Aveira, because it says there, anytime it does one Aveira, you're a Rosh already. So how do you call a person a Beinani? A Beinani means a person has no Aveira. So why is he not a Tzadik? Well, in the world we would call a person like that Tzadik, he didn't do Aveiras. But in Tanya he says a Beinani means somebody who still has a Yetzirah. And his Yetzirah still tries to convince him to do Aveiras. He just doesn't listen to him. But he's still fighting. A Tzadik is somebody that overcame his Yetzirah already. So that's what he says. Yaakov is the level of Beinani. Like he said, he still got to fight. And Yisrael is the level of Tzadikim. But Proteus, now if you go more in detail, in the level that a person, every person has, is the Eben der Mond. Most people are Beinanim, Halavai, but most people are not Tzadikim. So they're usually the level of Yaakov. But he says, even in those people, there are two levels. The Madrege for Yaakov, the Madrege from the Wochentag. In the weekdays, a Yid is like Yaakov. The Madrege from Yisrael, the Avedech from Shabbos. Then Shabbos, you're like Yisrael, because you're beyond fighting. In other words, even Shabbos, even a simple person, not a tzaddik, it's a different life. All Gashmis doesn't mean we're tzaddikim and we don't care about the food and we don't care, but nevertheless, our whole atmosphere is a holy atmosphere. On the weekdays, we have to fight to have a holy atmosphere. You're going out into work and the atmosphere is not so holy. we, as Fruma Yidden, fight it and don't allow it to take care of it. So we overcome it. Shabbos, you don't have to fight it. Shabbos, even a pasha to read. It's a different. You're sure this atmosphere is different. So in Beinanim itself, weekdays is like Yaakov, Shabbos is Yisrael. Bei Tzadikim Guf is voran die zwei Madreges von Yisrael and Yaakov. But sehr erech. In Tzadikim are usually the level of Yisrael. In their level, you also have two levels. Weil es ist verstandig von der Gemara. Und die Gemara says, als viele Norden wie Yaakov, ich als Prat, ist angerufen geworden, Yisrael, ruft in Zeiten bei sich Yaakov, ist auch als Prat. Even Yaakov himself, who could be greater than Yaakov? He's great. He's also called Yaakov. That means even a tzaddik like Yaakov, which is changed his name to Yisrael because he's in the high Madrege, but he's still called Yaakov. Wie bald als ich eine Madrege von Yaakov ist voran bei jeder Riden, sei bei Kol Odom, Beinanim, und sei bei Tzadikim, since the level of Yaakov and the level of Yisrael you find by every person, Tzadikim und Beinanim, der Rebbe ist noch dem, wie Yaakov ist zugekommen zu der Madrege von ihnen, gerufen werden mit Nomen Yisrael. So therefore, even Yaakov himself, when he reached the level when he was called Yisrael, his Hodar Adar Ikro, the Torah still continues calling him Yaakov. As es bleibt euch der Name Yaakov, his name is Yaakov stayed, weil ich später referant weiter von Yaakov. Because even later, there is still the level of Yaakov. It means even Yaakov Avinu, Yisrael, had the level of Yaakov. Now the Rebbe continues. Wie gesagt früher, we said before, is Leihibit Oven by Yaakov. That by Yaakov it says, the Eibishter doesn't see any bad things. But it doesn't say, Chotch Omal is Yefaram by the Madrike from Yaakov. We said, hard work there is, because to get to that level, you got to work hard. Weil die Menachem von Yitzhahara is a schwere Horavani. To fight with Yitzhahara is hard labor. It's verbunden mit Sakone. It's dangerous. The Gemara says, Kol adrochem v'cheskas Sakone. Wherever you go on a trip, it's dangerous. The trip that you take to fight with the Yitzhahara is a dangerous trip. But the Yid has the power, the strength to overcome, to win the war. And you could be clean of every Aveira. In other words, you could fight, you have to fight for it, it's not simple. But you could fight and you'll win. You'll get rid of oven, of all these crookedness. From Yed Yid is Neitzem Atoy Ma'aser Yodai, because every Yid was made, he's the Ma'aser Yod, he's the Eibishter with his Amedas. Und he's a chelik kam mal mamash kviyochel a chelik from the Meibishn. Every Yid has a neshama, and neshama is part of Hashem. Und Punkt, wie es ist nicht scheich, as immer chas v'sholem gewältig mit the Meibishn. Just like it can be somebody who control Hashem, as kviyochel it can nicht geschlitten auf a Yid's neshama. Eben nur will it does not. No one could control a Yiddish neshama, as long as he doesn't want. If a Yid wants to give in, he chooses to do bad, he could. But if a Yid doesn't want, he can't say, well, I don't really want, but I can't help it. It's no such thing. If you have a neshama, no such thing you can't help. You could be the balabos and overcome all the evils. It always has the power to win the war. With Nochmer, not only that he has the power, we have a promise as a we have a promise from the Eibishter, we will win the war against the Yitzhahara. The Pasuk says, no Yid will be pushed away from Hashem. And that's why it says, Kol Yisrael, every Yid has a share in the world to come. So that's even though we're in the lower level of Yaakov, we've got to fight, but you'll definitely win. Don't give up hope. This, that the Eibishter promise that we're going to win the war is not only in the future. We know the Eibishter promise that eventually every Yid is going to come back. It's negayah to now. This promise that we have, that the end will be for sure, that we'll win the war, should give us strength and joy in the Aveda. You fight, and fight the Yitzhahara, but you can do it with joy. Usually when you fight, you're not so happy. But if you know for sure you're going to win, so not only it's negayah that when the time will come, Mashiach will come, we'll win. It means that now you have already the promise. But this simcha helps in the mitzochen. This being happy when you fight the war makes you win, and it makes you win earlier. The previous Rebbe said, a soldier, wherever he goes to war, he's going to a dangerous place. You go with a march of joy. He goes with joy, and that makes him to be the winner. And the Rebbe sagt bei Motzei Shabbos. Now he says, that's why when it comes to Motzei Shabbos, we say, Al Tiro Avdi Yaakov. We don't say it actually, but it's part of the Zmiras that the world says. It says that even though we don't say it, but that's connected. We just don't happen to say it, these words. But the Inyan is true. So what does the words mean? Al tira avdi Yaakov, my Eved Yaakov, don't be afraid. Why do we tell Motzei Shabbos, don't be afraid? Why all of a sudden do we think he'll be afraid? Weil Shabbos, I do the Chiden, the Bechina von Yisrael. Shabbos, the level of Yisrael. Therefore, they don't need to come to the Aveda from Horavanya to Bavaras and the Berudim. So you don't have to work hard. On Shabbos, Yisrael, you don't have to fight, you don't have to work. Motzei Shabbos comes after Shabbos, when Darf wieder abnidern. So Zayin the Madrege von Yaakov Avdi, now you have to lower yourself to the whole week, to the level of Yaakov and the level of Eved, both. We said before, Yaakov is an Eved, and Eved means you work hard. In the Aveda Saberudim, from Sheishes Miachel, to start working on purifying the Gashmias during the weekdays, is Mendan, Machrem, Zmamaylet, Yeder Eden. So they announce, the Eibishter up there announces to every Yid, Al Tira of the Yaakov. As on it Meirom, don't be afraid, my servant Yaakov. Don't be afraid, Tzarop in the Madrege from Yaakov Avdi, to come down at the level of Yaakov Avdi. And das is nicht nur an Onzog, das ist nicht mehr haben. It's not only warning you, don't be afraid. Nor mit dem gibt man dem Keach ve'ez nicht so mehr haben. That gives the strength that we shouldn't be afraid. Und ton die Aveda mit Simcha, we do the Aveda with happiness. Was die Simcha wird vergringen und verschnellen die Arbeit, this Simcha will make the work easier and make it faster. To zen schar ba'amot ba'amole, to see the reward that we get in our work, the gute batzolт for seine Ravanya, the good reward from our work, bis man wird sicher sein zum Yom shekulei Shabbos and nuchal l'chaylam, and we'll be sicher to a time when it's only Shabbos, that we won't have this Aveda of the weekdays, that when Mashiach will come, we'll have only Shabbos, and we'll always be in the level of Yisrael.
Amen.